Josh French, Double O 008 Services. I'm kicking it here with Legends on the Rise.
So, Mr. Josh French, how did you come up with the name 008 Services?
All right, so like 8 is my favorite number, and you think about it like James Bond, he wasn't like the average agent, and so like with Double O 008 Services, I said I'm mix it up with that. You see it in the logo, you got a gun, you got a drill at the end instead of a gun. I do more than just like mount TVs. I started off fixing phones. I do handyman stuff around the house and all kind of stuff like that. I'm actually trying to learn how to do the carpentry of houses and then get to electrical work and everything, get to where I'm actually building, renovating houses and all that.
Yeah. So there is a little bit more to 008 Services than just what's on the surface, right?
Oh yeah,
How
for
did
sure.
you really derive with that name and what made it stick with you and say, okay, I know I want to go with this because there's a deeper meaning?
I feel like Double O 008 Services, like it really is stick because it's so broad. Like I don't like being limited to like one thing. That's why I just like even with engineering, I chose engineering for my major at school, mechanical engineering, because I can do so much with it. Like I dip and dab in like almost every piece of engineering. So even with like career field, I said let me go ahead and do where I can do a lot of things. I won't be stuck on one path. And then as well as with me doing with the handyman services. Handyman services really can go do anything. And shoot, I can even dip and dab in plumbing and stuff like that. So I'm not stuck with one thing. I'd rather be able to do a lot more things than just one.
Okay. So let's tell us about 008 Services. What are some of the services that you're offering right now?
So as of right now, I still fix phones, fix iPhones. Limited to up to the 11. I haven't gotten to where doing the 12s or anything yet because the screen prices. So just to help people out and keep it real with them, I tell them that their best bet would probably go to do Apple Care or go through insurance companies or something like that to get their phone fixed because of liabilities as well as I don't want to give somebody a bad service. So my main thing is customer service. So just because it'll make me some money to fix somebody's phone, I don't want you to be leaving off with a bad taste in your mouth from double A services. So phone fixing, TV mounting has primarily been the main thing going on right now. I started up this summer and I started up to where it is now this summer and it took off. Of course, my mom got me doing all kind of stuff around the house. So I started doing handyman service as well, fixing stuff. I actually had to fix a bathroom door the other day. Got a couple folks that's been asking me to learn how to renovate houses. So if I learn how to do that, I'm gonna be adding that to the service as well. The only thing is I'm really holding myself back because I'm still in school and I don't want to sit here and keep having all these things. Once I get too busy, I'm gonna be like, shoot, this is where the money at right now. So I don't want to get to where I'm doing the same thing that some other folks have done before. So I want to finish off what I already started. But once all that ends, there's countless things that'll be added to it. You know, we got double O 008 services. They're selling shirts as well. Shout out to Fly Die for that. On my profile, Mike G and his girl, they started a tie-dye business, and I've started selling shirts and everything. So y'all want to hit me up, get a shirt, hit me up at French 008 on Instagram, and hit them up at Fly Die. It's FLYDYEEE on Instagram. Shoot, I like to say I'm probably one of their best customers. I'm always hitting them up whenever they drop something. I'm buying me some.
Gotcha. So what made you come up with starting to do the cell phone repair and starting to do the TV installation? How did you figure that was the avenue that you wanted to choose as far as it relates to repairing and service?
Uh, so crazy thing is, I got my first iPhone in 10th grade, and it was like word damage or something like that. So I tried to change the battery out, but I was scared to lose the screws as well as lose like mess the screen up. So I didn't take the screen off the phone. I just lifted it up and take the battery out. Battery ain't easy to take out, and so I ended up messing up the screen. Fixed the battery, but messed up the screen. So I was like, I heard my phone moving, vibrating, all that stuff. Screen just went black. So I'm hurt. So I hit up some girl at my school. She actually ended up fixing it. She took longer than like expected because I think she had messed up or something like that. But then after that, she fixed it right. I ended up breaking it again. Took it to the store. They charged way too much, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna start doing it myself. So I figured out how to do it, and I was doing it the simpler way, but more expensive way by buying one with the camera and the home button already in it. And then when my homeboys that hit up my teacher and said that, hey, because she asked about getting her phone, she had an iPhone 6. She asked if she can get her phone fixed. I ended up fixing hers and did it right. And she told everybody around the school, and it just took off from there. It got to where it carried me through college, carried me through high school. Then it got to people in college know I was doing it. I got on the team. A lot of my teammates needed their phone fixed, and they started posting, and it just blew up from there too.
So you did it back in high school as well? Okay. So what about the services of the hanging TVs? What made you go off into that arena?
Shoot, almost the same thing. I I did my own. I seen one of my friends had his mounted up. I was like, man, it's nice. So he was like, yeah, all you need is a stud finder and a drill. I was like, really? So I went and bought me a mount, mounted my TV up, and it was rocking for a minute. I mounted one in my living room. Then I had one of my pro fights ask me to mount his TV. I mounted his. I didn't even have a drill. I did it with my hand. Like I had to get a socket wrench. And once I got that socket wrench, I was just like just cranking it, and then got it in. He posted it, and it blew up from there. I ended up having like 10 TVs to do the next week in school, like down in Auburn.
So would you label yourself as an opportunist?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I will label you as an opportunist as well. You find an opportunity and you take advantage of it and you make it into a business.
Of course. I mean, shoot, if I ain't gonna lie to y'all, like if there's a lot of things I wanted to try, but like I said, if I get too busy, I'll be done with the school stuff.
Right. So let's talk about that. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. I went to school, Gresham, Irondale, then Chase Valley.
Gotcha. You play any sports in school?
Yeah, I did football, basketball a little bit, and then mainly was main thing was track and football.
Okay. All right. Did you go on after high school and play in college?
Yeah, I did. I went on to Auburn. I walked on my second semester, freshman year.
Okay. So you played football with the Auburn Tigers?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What position did you play?
I played safety.
So tell us what happened with you. Are you still currently playing, and what happened with you, and why aren't you playing? And tell us about that career and some of the challenges you had that we know about during your football career.
So with football, I wanted to declare senior, but because of the fact being that I wasn't graduating at the next semester, they said I couldn't do that. I was like, well, I mean, I made this my last year. It was time for me to focus on my business and not even on my business, my career field. So I ended up just telling them like, hey, this is gonna be my last season. So after that, I ended up getting an internship, my first internship, which I'm still actually doing right now with NASA, and I've been working with them. I actually have to go up there tomorrow to get back in the field since I was out of school. And the thing with football, I just knew that like seeing a lot of people, I seen too many people devote their entire life, college career and everything to football, and not get the outcome that they wanted, and not even just wanted, but some people I felt like they deserved. Some people didn't get play time in college. Some people didn't get opportunity in the pros, and they were people that go down Auburn history, Auburn legends. And to see that happen with folks, I mean, not really saying that it deterred me, but as a walk-on, I mean, I didn't get many opportunities for real. Of course, they wanted to get more of the people that they invested in to get to working and all that, and like get them on the field and all that. So it was just about that time.
So let's go back a little further than that, though, because we know, coming out of high school, there were some things that prohibited you. You were, had some challenges, high school as well as in college. And for you to even be able to make the team was an accomplishment because there were some things that almost even kept you from doing that. So let's talk about that a little bit.
All right, so my senior year in high school, I ended up breaking my foot like the 5th game in the season. I had messed it up. It was hurting a little bit. I just figured that it was just like a cramp or something like that. Came out the game, came back in, finished the game out. They put me at running back because we had no people for real. Put me at running back, so I was out there practicing like that Sunday with the quarterback and a couple other folks who we knew. And went up for a pass, came back down, and next thing I know, like my foot just snapped. I'm like, okay, it's just like something just popping out of place, pop back in, whatever. I'd be all right. Trying to walk, and it didn't pop back in. I was like, what's going on? I went upstairs, got some water, came back down. Like, I'm in pain. Called my mom. I said, I think I broke my foot. She was like, nah, you just put some Epsom salt. You probably hurt something. I said, all right, bet. Get to the house. Epsom salt didn't help. Went to the doctor. They said, yeah, you broke it. So doctor told me we gotta get surgery. He said you might be back by playoffs. We did not make it to the playoffs. We went 2-8 the rest of that season. And turns out the doctor actually didn't even do my surgery right. So instead of setting my bone in my foot and then putting the screw in, they just put it in and it was all out of line. They expected it to grow more bone than it necessarily needed to. And I ended up running track with a broke foot. Made it to state and everything still. We had a new coach my senior year, so I couldn't even work out in the field house trying to get back right and everything. So that was a problem that I had. But I still made it happen. Worked out with my coach. I actually ended up working out with one of the teachers at the school. She did CrossFit, and she actually did some of her training at the school. So I worked out with her. So that ended up helping me out a lot. Like I said, made it to state. Did some of my best times even with my broke foot. So I was real like proud of myself for that. And then that following summer, I ended up breaking my foot again right before I went to school. They told me that with the screw in my foot, it's still stable enough for me to try out. So I tried out, didn't make it because I had to do a second tryout because they say I didn't have proof of being enrolled in school. But I'm waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning to go to 8 o'clock classes. I'm enrolled in school. Like, I ain't even gonna play me like that. So they told me that just come back in the spring. So I came back in the spring. I was the only person to make it that time. And like I had to get my surgery. I rehabbed myself. I did a little stuff with people down in Auburn. Actually, I think I did my rehab back in Birmingham. Yep, did my rehab in Birmingham, but I did my workouts and everything with Auburn. I wasn't gonna go outside again. Like I had to make sure I get right. So me and my friends, we were going to the rec every day, working out, doing all kind of stuff. And ended up making the team. I ended up gaining like 10 pounds. I came in at 216. I was ready. So even while I was playing though, my last year, well, this past year, I ended up breaking my foot again at practice. I broke my other foot this time in the same spot. And it was the day before my birthday too. It was December 29th. So the next day I was walking around the boot. I was so upset. But at the same time I was happy though, 'cause I was like, shoot, it is what it is. I can't even complain about something. It's just another sign for me done anyways.
Right. So like I said, it was good that you still were able to make the team based on all those challenges. I mean, we talking about 2, 3, 4 broken feet. That's kind of a bit much. So great job on making the team.
Appreciate it, man.
Challenges. So tell me, we know also, you also pledged while you were at school, correct?
Correct. Yeah. Alpha Alpha. Shout out to OK, Omicron Kappa, Auburn University. Them boys.
When'd you pledge?
Spring 19.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. I'd probably say that's like the highlight of everything going on. Like that was the turning point in my life. It's like after doing that, I hit not because of them, but I did hit like an all-time low. But the brotherhood and like having everybody there with me and everything to help me out, it was crazy. Like the amount of support, motivation that was all around. It was just that's where I'm. That's how I am where I am now. Like I crossed last year. It's only been a year, and I'm already where I am now because I'm surrounded by so many businessmen. We got Chef J. Rob. We got, like I said, Mike G with the fly dye and everything. We got one of my line brothers. He got his own car washing business, premium auto care. Another one of my line brothers got My Vote Matters merchandise. So that's where I got the idea from, getting the shirts and everything. Another one, the graphic design. He made my logo. Like it's money in the chapter. It's just so many people doing some great things. We got videographers, photographers. We got logistics companies, tax companies. We got personal trainers. We got personal trainer with their own app. Like personal trainer, got their own app. So it was just great getting a chance to do that and everything. Like I said, the brotherhood is something that I'll never get anywhere else. And then as well as going around and seeing the other alphas and everything, people like you get to connect with and everything, it's just definitely the best decision for my life.
Gotcha. So also you discussed earlier that you work for NASA. Can you tell us a little bit about that? What do you do for NASA?
So Because of COVID, they had it as an internship, but they actually changed it to a junior specialist part-time job. I started off doing stuff with combustion and system safety, but now I'm doing hazard analysis. And really, I'm just the person that helps like make sure that nothing goes wrong as far as like the assembly and then like the launches of rockets and everything, or any type of exploration that we have. Um, it's just, like basically going all the risks and hazards we could possibly have. So if there's like say like crane malfunctions or anything that just seems to be not right or not in place, we're the ones going through all that stuff, make sure everything's okay with all that stuff. Make sure that everybody is safe when it comes to, like I said, the assembly and everything. Of course, I'm still in training and everything to where I'm really up there, but it's all a part of it.
Gotcha. So we know you got a lot going on right now. So you're in school right now for engineering, correct?
Correct.
What are you focusing on as it relates to your engineering degree?
Shoot, getting it.
Yeah. So is there a specific field that you're focusing on as it relates to engineering?
Um, Not really. People used to always ask me, "What's your ideal job when you graduate?" I said Alabama Power because I knew a couple folks that worked there before, and I like how like the atmosphere from what I've seen from other people and what I've heard. But as far as a target career field when it comes to engineering, my mechanical engineering, not necessarily anything in mind. I do like being hands on. So if they give me a job somewhere hands on with stuff, almost in the field of like doing what I'm doing now with the handyman stuff, I'll be cool with that. Assembling stuff, fixing stuff. That's kind of stuff I like to do. But as far as like a target job somewhere, NASA put me on, I'll take it, and I'll cherish it like it's a kid. Like I'm just ready to get on somewhere.
Gotcha. So what do you know? Do you know much about computer-aided drafting as it relates to engineering?
Not really. I ain't gonna lie to you. Computers, I'm not too much of the computer person. I've been more so like the hands-on mechanical stuff. Like that's why I chose mechanical engineering. Like I ain't gonna lie, that computer-aided class I took, it was a struggle, but I made it. Yeah.
Gotcha. So I know, you got a lot going on working with NASA, working on your engineering degree and also 008 services. So what are your plans for the future? Do you plan on going into corporate? You plan on being an entrepreneur? Because it seems like you have strong leads in both. So what are your plans?
So um, I'm gonna tell you like this. My mom told me this story about this soccer player. Don't know his name, but they asked him kind of question that you asked in a sense, and he was like, they asked him like, why you do soccer? He said, I hate soccer. He actually has his clothing brand and everything. He used soccer. He was so good at it that he used it to help him get where he wanted to with his clothing brand or like some type of other thing that he was doing. I'm not saying I hate engineering because I don't. I mean, of course, I hate the school part of it, but it's all a part of it. But my dream right now is really to get to where I'm actually teaching other people how to do this stuff because it's too like especially from Birmingham, it's too many people just hoping like to get it out and make it big. Like folks like worrying about people doing basketball, football, something huge, something that real huge recognition, instead of just encouraging folks to do like the engineering, do the smart things. Like just cause like I might have an athletic body and everything, but I don't have to just necessarily do all straight sports or something like that. Like use your mind, it'll take you a lot further than that. Cause the whole CTE thing, they taking so many precautions with football, with these whole targeting calls and all that things, because they know how serious that stuff can get, how much a toll it puts on their body. So instead of doing that necessarily, if it's not for everybody, utilize your best opportunities. I want to get to where I'm teaching kids like, hey, if I knew this stuff back in high school, mounting TVs, ain't no telling how I'd be. Well, my LB's, like I said, he has his own car washing business starting when he was 16 years old. If there was more kids like that, it'd be so much better out here in the world. But instead, we got people trying to make it big, trying to make it out there fast. People want to do the whole being a thug thing. Everybody want to shoot and all that stuff instead of just getting some righteous money. So there's so many things that I want to teach these kids as far as not only just the hustle, but ways of the real world. You go through 13 years of like regular school, kindergarten to 12th grade, because you have to. But for what? What do you learn from it? Kids still come out here, don't know how to do taxes, don't know how to worry about mortgages, don't know nothing about credit. They don't know any of these basic things you have to deal with in school. But they know about Pythagorean theorem or whatever it's called. They know all that stuff. They know all the stuff that means nothing. Trigonometry, geometry, you know all that, but will never use it again in your life. But they don't know nothing about taxes. They don't know nothing about these other things they're going to actually have to worry about when they get in the real world. And I want to teach them that because we're like, I ain't gonna lie, as a handyman, yeah, I get paid for doing something that people don't want to do. But sometimes there are people that literally can't afford to do those things. So like, get to where these kids are doing it. And like, we in the black community, everybody help like buy black. That whole thing they say buy black, yes, buy black services and everything. So I want these kids to be able to where they can do stuff like that. I want them set up to where they can keep it going. Cause I'm not a person that like people ask me how many kids I want like 2 kids because I wanted to where my kids can have their friends coming over and then they learning something. They knowing like their folks knowing that they're at a house where they're under good care. They're learning good things. They're learning something to better them and also spread it out to everybody else. If I just got my 2 kids or my big family, whatever, my kids doing what they doing, whatever, okay, cool. Yeah, I've only targeted my family. I want to get to where I'm targeting other families. I want everybody to, like, people don't underestimate these kids from like their age and everything. But I can teach a kid something they can teach their parents, or they can teach, or just keep in their head, or keep with them, and then pass on to somebody else later on. Wisdom does come with age and everything, but it doesn't tell you when, like your age doesn't tell like when you learn certain things. You can come wise about certain things at a young age, but you still wisdom regardless. So my main thing is really just get to where I'm so successful to where I can sit back and take the time of teaching kids and shoot even adults if I got to. Like I don't like the way things been going. I don't like everybody worrying about like getting killed. I don't like that. Having to look over your shoulder all the time. I don't like that. And it's all because people want to be greedy and everything. Want to be greedy? I mean, shoot, go work. You working so hard to do something wrong, do something right. If you to put your same effort you are into ducking and dodging the cops, ducking and dodging everything bad, all the repercussions, all the bad things you did, put that same amount of work into making some righteous money and doing something right, like the returns are limitless.
Gotcha. So tell us, Mr. French of Double O Services, for contact information. How can you be reached on social media? Maybe your email, contact information, your cell phone number, whatever means you would like to be contacted. How can the people reach you?
So Instagram is 008 Services. Other Instagram personal one is French 008. You can contact me on my phone, 205-240-1151. Don't use Twitter as much, but if you ever want to hit me up on Twitter, is French 008 with an X at the end. Those are my basic means of communication and all that. I try my best. I'm not gonna say I try my best. I do respond to all my emails. No, not emails, my Instagram messages and all that. Text messages, I respond to all of them. Especially right now with school not being in, shoot, don't be surprised if I say I can get the job done today.
Gotcha. And as it relates to you traveling, how far do you travel?
As far as I've gone, South Carolina. I had a teammate hit me up. He got him a new house. He played for the Panthers. I went right on out there with him. I go to Atlanta frequently. I go Birmingham, Tuscaloosa. I'm stationed in Auburn. Excuse me, but that drive ain't nothing.
Okay, gotcha. Well, thank you for coming by chatting with us today, Mr. French.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me.